Hey everyone, welcome to a kind of special video. It's special because it's something quite close to my heart, which is about an MMO that started it all for me, and a chance for me to introduce you all to it. The MMO in question, as you can see by the video title, is Kal Online, a Korean-themed MMO from the early 2000s that may look familiar to some of you due to the amount of these smaller MMOs that use the exact same engine. So if it looks familiar to you, that will be why. Surprisingly, given how relatively small the player base was in the West or international servers, given the Korean theming that is, the servers are still running by the original developer Soft. However, the game has changed in 20 years into something that I can only describe as a mobile game in terms of how it looks. The fact that it looks like that is kind of important to this video, as you'll soon understand. Due to the massive changes of the official version of the game that has been made by Soft, and the deviation from the look and feel of how the game felt in those early years, Kal Online has frequently spawned private servers to replicate to different variations. Those early years of the game people remember so fondly are often picked as the theme for most of these servers. Think like classic WoW. Some of these servers offer variations and make very different colors for their vision, some of which are, for lack of a better word, tasteless, like recolors and custom areas and gear and ugly skins at extremely high rates, which skip the part of the game that was actually developed by the developers. Enter Bango, the name of the private server slated for release within the next few months that is based around 2009 Kal Online. It is extremely, as we say in the business, int-like. What that means is that it doesn't try to do insane changes that neither fit or look right, and instead replicates a 2009 look with only a few quality of life changes that actually make sense. It's this server which I plan to sink time into, and I'd love to see the homies from BDO give it a shot, since this video is aimed at a majority of my subscribers, but if you found it randomly, just ignore any references going forward to like BDO. So why Kal Online? Well, it looks its age in many ways, but that doesn't mean it's bad at all. Again, classic WoW and old school RuneScape are testament to that. It hits all the right points for an MMO. Improving your gear not only makes you look cool and powerful, but actually does feel impactful in PvE and PvP. Looking at you, BDO. Nothing quite beats the rush of getting a piece of gear to drop while outgrinding, trust me. The game is also highly rewarding for leveling up, with new levels providing new attribute points to distribute, as well as higher grade skills and new skills making you feel much more powerful. I'll use this archer to demonstrate what progression of gear can look like, although I won't show every tier, it will still give you an idea. Kal Online, at least in the 2009 emulated setting, has 4 classes: Archer, Knight, Mage, and Thief. And each of the classes has a choice at level 50 of 2 jobs, which will dictate how the class will look, as well as gaining you significantly more powerful abilities. This in essence leaves you with a choice of 8 actual class choices. That said, the developers of Bango have decided to hold Thief back at launch, and it will be released later in the date. This will more closely match how its introduction came from the original game. Starting with Archer, this class is your standard bow class and has the highest evasion of any class. Your choice is between Expert Archer or Imperial Commander. Expert Archer is a long-range damage specialist, sending lethal charge shots through its focus shot ability, with a few escape tricks up its sleeve as well. EA is great at large-scale PvP like Castle Wars and GVGs. Imperial Commander has much less range, instead focuses on curses which cripple your enemy through stat reductions and also poisons. Its staple ability is Life Absorption, which does exactly what it says on the tin. Icy is an incredible 1v1 class. Mages are cut and dry. One is the damage spec, the Hermit, and the other the healer, the CJB, an acronym for Chairperson of Jungbang, but yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Although Hermits do have single targeting abilities, their real power is in AoE, which they get long before other classes, allowing them to take on groups of monsters and be lethal in large-scale PvP fights. CJBs, as I mentioned, are the healing specialists, with powerful heals and huge buffs which are amazing in all content. That said, some people choose to go offensive, using the heals to keep themselves alive, but using the power of Shockwave and Soul Destruction to surprise unsuspecting enemies. I should also give a dishonorable mention to Hypnosis, the most broken skill in the game in some ways as a mass CC skill, basically. It's worth noting here that both mage classes do not have any form of accuracy, called OTP in this game, or on target point, effectively meaning they cannot miss their target but are generally squishier. You can probably guess the two choices knights get: the Vagabond and Commander, which pits a massive two-handed sword versus sword and board. Vagabonds use a two-hander that is capable of huge damage and have a gap-closing skill called Rush, allowing them to get close to a fleeing enemy before stunning them. The signature skills are Powerful Upward Slash, or Pus, and Brutal, which shouldn't take too much explanation. Commanders get a one-hander and a shield, so are naturally tankier, although I'll be honest, in PvP they can be so annoying and deadly as their damage soon adds up. Commanders get calls, which are permabuffs so long as you don't die or get out of range, which are really useful, and when they hit third job they can cast 2 of these at once. Thief comes with Invisible Swordsman and Hitman. IS is pure damage shredding, the queen of pre-third job physical attacker PvE by some margin, and incredibly strong on bosses. Dance of Killing and Counterattack / Counteroffensive are your main skills, with Counterattack reflecting damage back to an enemy, and Counteroffensive reflecting AoE damage back to players or monsters. Which is why HP is kind of popular stat for IS, so you can take the damage to reflect back. Dance of Killing boosts both attack speed and damage with a noticeable visual. Be warned that IS does traditionally struggle when classes start hitting level 70 and getting their third job to keep up in PvE, well, except on bosses. Hitman kind of reflects IC somewhat in that it applies debuffs to the enemy, but in this case it's more focused on bleeds and dots. It's a very powerful 1v1 class, but in PvE it's a slog until you can hit level 75 plus, so be warned about that. Although after that you're at PvE superpower basically. Both thief classes get the stealth skill called Hiding. Kal Online has a variety of bosses, and while not my favorite style of content, they often provide huge rewards and XP and drops. I do like the Dogby Lord though. This is a boss you can summon by yourself by farming like these items from normal monsters, and then that summons him, and it's kind of a cool guild effort, I think. But be warned, Bango will not baby players, so your kill can be compromised by others. Speaking of that, Kal Online has a system to PK others in the open world called the Assassin System, which is where players can put on these assassin masks that you buy, and it sets you as an assassin for a set amount of time, which is basically makes you hostile to all other players that are not in your party. So you can attack other players outside safe zones, and including bosses. I believe Bango will have drops on though, so be warned, the assassins being killed could mean dropping a valuable item from your inventory. Castle Siege is the peak of PvP for any given week. Usually this is set on Sundays, although no official schedule is yet out for Bango. Castle Siege is exactly how it sounds and involves multiple guilds with different alliances competing for control of the castle. It operates as sort of King of the Hill mode. There are a few GVG scenarios with differing objectives as well, like a tower killing one, monster killing one, protecting your leader one. These are instance arenas for guilds to fight it out and complete objectives and kill each other. Then there's Battlefield, which you randomly select as 1 or 2 teams, and yeah, you just kill each other. Finally, you have duel tournaments with different sizes, like 1v1, 3v3, 5v5s, and these operate just like an arena. There's also triangular battle, but I'm not sure this would be added or not yet. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick overview, and I think it covers everything that is the essence of Kal, and I hope that some of you may be tempted to give it a try. I plan to cover more info on the game in subsequent videos, and let me know if this is something you're interested in seeing, and I'll do my best with time allowing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check the links in the description below.